Number 3. Mitch and Mike on the mic.
That's
right.
We're good at tangents, and I keep saying that. And every time we do one, I always think of this one line from, there was an old cartoon that I used to love called The Critic.
Is that the one with the squiggly lines?
No, you're thinking of Dr. Katz.
Oh, fuck Dr. Katz and squiggly ass lines.
He did like therapy for comedians. This was a show with Jay Sherman, starring John Lovitz. Jay Sherman was actually on The Simpsons. They did a crossover.
They did, yes, I remember that.
Because he's a film critic. And
so what? Homer wanted to be a film critic or something? I'm trying to think of that.
Homer was a film critic. They had the film festival.
Now, was it any way related to when Bart was in the set? He was Fall Out Boy for the Radioactive Man movie.
Nope, that was a totally different one. This is the one where Mr. Burns made his awful movie. Like, all right, they did a scene from like E.T. and from the Ben-Hur.
Okay.
And they did a scene where he's on a horse and he gets dragged around at the end of the take. Like, he tries to say something, the horse takes off and he falls off and it's gets dragged around. And he goes,
yeah, I remember.
They did 23 takes and that was the best one.
Oh, man. So the critic was on Simpsons. What did he say?
All right. No, this is from the
show.
actual show.
Okay.
And it has to do with the tangents, which we're so good at. And he's talking with his sister Margot. And Margot is supposed to go to a debutante ball. She doesn't want to go, and she says, debutante balls are outdated, elitist, and sexist. You said so yourself in your review of Boys in the Hood. Just, yeah, I was really off on a tangent on that day.
It's got nothing to do with it.
So every time, like, halfway through, I'll just get, like, a smile on my face, because in the back of my head, I just hear him going, yeah, I was really off on a tangent that day.
Just think of animated John Lovitz.
Yep.
He was great in Rat Race.
He is a fantastic voiceover actor. He's another one. Like, I love it when actors do voiceovers. It's so funny.
Didn't he play like a suicidal Dunkin' Donuts guy in one of the old SNL skits or something?
I don't remember that.
That was great.
I remember it in what's the Adam Sandler movie when he's the Little Nicky? He's in the beginning of that. But he's in the beginning of that in the tree, like with the binoculars, peeping on the lady.
I don't remember at all.
Oh my god, he was just like so funny because he's sitting there like cracking jokes to himself and just laughing. It's just like sleazy and funny at the same time.
He does play
perfect.
He does play a good sleazy son of a bitch.
He's good at playing a bit character. Like, he was on an episode of Friends that he just killed. It was so funny.
What was he doing? What was his character?
He played like the owner of a restaurant, or at least the boss or something. He was Monica's boss.
Who played Monica? Aniston?
No, Courtney Cox.
I've never watched a full episode of Friends.
Never seen the Friends.
Neither have I ever laughed at a single fucking thing from that show.
You might laugh at this. It's kind of funny.
Well, okay, maybe outside of the main characters, I might allow myself to laugh, but I do not allow myself to laugh. I also do not laugh whenever Wanda Sykes tells a joke. She is awful.
Yeah, I don't find her funny. Do you want to hear what?
What does he do?
She's got to have him over to like impress. Oh, maybe it's to like it's an interview, and he's trying to hire her. Apparently, in the cab, he lights up a doobie and smokes it. So he just comes over.
What's a doobie?
A marijuana Did I say that right? Is there marijuana or marijuana?
I believe it's called the Devil's Smoke.
Okay, well, he does the Devil's Smoke, and then he comes over and it's funny. One episode, like, that's all he does. But
John Lovitz
when he plays
there.
a bit character, he's a great bit character kind of guy.
John Lovitz, there's no further explanation.
Or when he does voiceovers. Look at all the voiceovers he does on The Simpsons. He's always hilarious.
Who does he do?
He does, Marge's art teacher.
Oh, yes.
Both Maggie's babysitter and the Marge's director, like when she does A Streetcar Named Desire.
Okay. I think I recall that.
He does Jay Sherman. He does Artie Ziff. Marge's old boyfriend.
Artie Ziff from high school.
Yeah.
To go to the prom. I love the Artie Ziff character.
He plays the owner of the Springfield, or I'm sorry, not the Springfield, the Shelbyville baseball team, the Greek guy.
He's no Duff Man.
No,
He needs.
but that's like 6 characters.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's five or 6 characters.
All right, I'm gonna hijack your hijack here, Mike.
Yep, tangent.
John Lovett's fucking rules.
Yep, love him.
That's lesson number 1 of this episode of Mitch and Mike on the mic.
We are prone to tangents. That's the first. That's rule number 1. I gotta get you to start watching Archer, man.
I've heard good things.
I got my parents into it. It's so funny.
Yeah.
That's one of his lines. That's rule number 1.
Does John Lovitz do a voiceover?
No, but they get a lot of voiceover people.
You tell me when John Lovitz does a voiceover, I'll start watching.
He's not. He's not. He's not part of that
people.
crowd. I'm telling you.
What crowd? Secret Spies?
H. John Benjamin, the people who do Bob's Burgers. These people also did stuff on Adult Swim. They'll get those guys.
Why has it got to be Adult Swim? Are they swimming naked?
No, it's Cartoon Network at night.
Oh, so anyways, before Swearopocalypse happened, and I know that we're all thankful that we were able to survive the Swearopocalypse.
Yes, we thrived.
We were able to come through it. Just on top of the world.
Yeah, we conquered.
We were transitioning from how we had previously talked about the Boston bombings, and what I wanted to talk about was how, with the Boston bombings, obviously a terrible tragedy.
Yes.
And how it was a little bit, obviously it took the lives of people, and obviously more than one life. One life is terrible in and of itself. More than one, and all injuries, it's bad. And so at lunch at work, it happened last Monday. So it happened like the next day or the day after. I was talking to some people at work and talking about, how's everyone going to react. It's not the technical, it's not the what seems to be now, the old gun violence, which everyone freaks out about. And I got to thinking to myself, because everyone always correlates the gun violence to video games, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't have really any, I get upset and I get angry. I don't really have any need to or desire to kill anyone.
Yeah.
Let alone physically hurt or injure anyone. I might hope someone has a bad day from here or there, but that's quite far. That's quite far removed from an actual physical harm.
You don't have any pure hate. Louis C.K. talks about this kid that is in his daughter's class. Or class.
Class?
I don't know what that was.
That's the little bad blue talking.
Oh man. But he goes, I hate this kid so much. He's like, it's an hour show, and he's probably 40 minutes into it. He's like, I hate him. All right, honestly, I've thought about him 3 times since I've come out of here. That's how much I hate him. He's like, it's this 6-year-old. I have this adult hatred for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I gotta see the new Louis C.K. he just had.
Oh, that's right. We have to see that too.
Yeah.
I didn't see it either. So anyway, my correlation, or I guess negative correlation between the need to assault people physically and violently to destruct their lives either through temporary or permanent physical damage or killing them is non-existent in my life.
Right.
And I got to thinking to myself, of all the video games that I've played since I was a young lad, from the intro of getting the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, and jumping on the heads of
mushrooms and turtles,
or as what they used to call them, baddies.
Baddies.
You ever looked at an old video game?
Oh yeah, baddies.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You look through the old video game, the little booklet that came with the game.
Yeah, which you don't even get anymore.
That's what I hope that everyone starts calling terrorists now, is baddies.
Baddies.
Yeah, just baddies. We're just going around and jumping on their heads and throwing turtle shells at them. It should be pretty effective.
And fireballs. Fireballs are effective.
I'll hit them with my raccoon tail if they don't fucking shape the fuck up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I thought to myself,
or you can just get a star and just run.
I'll run through. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the technology to do that.
We have that. It's called PEDs.
Yeah, but you don't glow or flash quickly.
Well, you need some other stuff to do that.
And there's no way There's no way to emanate music from your body. That's the next thing we need. You can hear music through your ears.
You
But
could
you wanna-
play music on your phone and then swallow it.
Oh, that's great.
See?
And you could turn your ass into an amplifier.
Yep. And then you get like a highlighter, like more than one highlighter, and just put it all over your fucking skin. Yeah. And then just run down the street doing that. Then you have the phone playing out your ass. Good to go. Gotta get down to at least your underwear. And just run down the street, run through people. Super speed. You gotta go fast.
So anyways, I was thinking to myself, I wonder how many kills I've accumulated in my video game
I wonder.
History breakdown. And I started thinking to myself, the game that I'm a monster at it. I'm so good.
You play it all the time.
All the time. Whenever I've got free time, I do it.
I have Rock Band and Madden. You have
Call of Duty, baby. Call of Duty is the most fun, addictive. I can't get online. My wireless is all messed up. You got no chance. Yeah, I know. So I was thinking to myself, minus games of the NES and Super NES and the N64 and the GameCube. How about I just go back and I tabulate and I calculate and I add up all the kills I've accumulated in all the Call of Duty games for the Xbox.
All of them.
360. I don't have the stats for the Call of Duty game like 1 and 2 that I had on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let me go back and let me check out the statistics of my kills. Now this is just person / character kills. This is not counting the guys who are piloting like the UAVs and then counter UAVs that shoot down with my rocket launchers.
Okay.
We can't count those. Those are incalculable. And I will also say that when I tallied up all when I tallied up all the kills, my kill totals, the first 2 games in the series, I don't have the full amounts because I partnered up with one of my buddies who I lived with, and we used his account so we could level up faster and get better guns. So I don't really have a total. Plus, anytime I would go to my brother's and play on his thing. I've probably accumulated a couple hundred kills.
Mm-hmm.
I've accumulated that many.
Oh yeah.
And again, going back to my point, I don't have a desire to kill anyone or shoot anyone, even in the leg.
So what's the final count?
So let me go over the games that I'm counting here. I'm counting the original Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a genre-defying video game.
Yes.
Then I go to World at War.
Okay.
Moving into Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2 is the one where I picked it up.
That's a great game.
That was my favorite. That was fantastic.
Some people say that's the pinnacle.
I feel it was.
I see that going back and you playing it now, it's just riddled with hackers.
But see, I liked it better. Like the controls and everything were different for that than it was for World at War. I didn't like those. I liked the Modern Warfare.
It's really the same thing. I mean, the only difference is that
I felt they were different enough for me.
Because there's 2 different developers. The Call of Duty is the main title. Activision publishes them. The developers is either Infinity Ward or Treyarch.
Yeah. Infinity
Ward does the Modern Warfare type of the series. Treyarch does the non-Modern Warfare type.
I know. So, that's what I'm saying. The difference between
For the folks.
Okay.
For the folks.
All right. All 12 of them.
Yeah. We might get up over 20 for this podcast. I guarantee.
Maybe after the Sword Apocalypse.
After the Sword Apocalypse, we could blow up. I'm gonna hold the Sword Apocalypse off.
Yeah.
When everyone's ready.
Oh boy, they're gonna. All right. So with this one, you're preparing them for the big one.
I'll send signal flares up in the air over my apartment complex.
Ooh, maybe you should get fireworks that say Sword Apocalypse.
Oh, that would. That's ironic because that would need more views to accumulate the money to funds to raise. Or we could just throw another MMAFantasyFever.com plug.
Yeah.
Which we just
pay
did.
up.
Pay up, motherfucker. 500 bones. So Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. Again, like I said, not counting kills on my brother's console, not counting kills when I combined it with my other buddy that I used to live with.
Or the ones when I when you
or if I'd
you
played it
mine.
anywhere else. So there's probably
only your system
combined.
your
I would say all those combined. There's probably around. I would say at least another 1,500 kills added on. But if I calculated these, take a wild guess, and I'll give you a hint. It's under 100,000.
Oh, okay. I was gonna my first guess was gonna be like 217,000.
No, that's way too much. I'm not that violent.
Well,
if you had to guess,
that's
under 100,000.
bad, isn't it?
Bad.
Yeah. Don't you want to have the most kills?
Badass.
Exactly.
I don't play it every day.
You used to.
I still do.
Yeah.
No, I don't still do.
Well, yeah, no. You've
Take a wild guess at my kills.
I'm gonna say not over 100.
Not over 100,000.
Right, but obviously it's got to be high. So I'm gonna say 80, 87, 88. What? Let me see if I can get the exact here. All right, 87.
You're actually pretty close.
Ooh, but I'm already wrong.
Oh yeah, I'd be throwing fucking confetti in your face right now if you got this right.
If I got 87.
If you were right on the first try.
Sorry. So I'm gonna see. All right. So it's not 87 then.
Not 87.
I'm gonna see if I can get this exactly.
I'm not throwing any more hints. This, and like I said before, this does not count any possible pilots or multiple people flying the UAVs in the air or any other sort of like a stealth helicopter trying to take them down. This is just straight on ground troops.
Right. Well, I mean, at this point, that doesn't matter to me. I know it's under 100,000, but I know it's up there.
Guess.
You say I'm pretty close with 87.
I'm giving you 5 seconds to guess.
83. 84, 9,
2.
42.
You're
How close was I?
You're really close, though.
Yeah. Give me one more guess. I want one more guess.
I'm going to
No, come on. One more.
All
come
right.
on.
What is it?
80, 83, 133.
Holy shit.
No fucking way.
You
Seriously? Seriously?
What? Well, actually, the last game I played, I had someone in last stand, so they were about to die, but the game ended, so they didn't. You were off by half a kill.
Bullshit.
But you were
bullshit.
right on.
I'm on.
I don't know how you did it.
I have one more question for you.
So here's another.
I have one more question for you.
I'll answer.
How good was I at selling that? Pretty good. Do you think it was believable?
No.
No?
No.
Damn.
Because you wouldn't have gone 87 right to 84, 83. You would have went to 87.
You were pressuring me.
You would have went to like 65.
But you were pressuring me.
Overall is good. I'm not pressuring you at all.
I'll give you 5 seconds to answer.
You better watch your fucking. You better watch your fucking tone, because I've killed 83,000 fucking people, and I know how to take a motherfucker out.
But you already said you have no desire.
That's true, and that's the moral.
So I know I'm saying.
That's the moral of the story. I want you all these fucking cowards, all these pussies who go around killing people, and you blame it on their fucking video games.
Terrible.
I want you to take their kills. I want you to tabulate them, and I will beat them every time, because I
think you can do it a little bit easier.
I am a trained killer. I have no fear.
Fine, beat Joseph Stalin.
He's dead. He can't play these video games.
Yeah, but he's got way more than you.
That is really fucked up if you think about it. Him and Hitler.
I know.
How many kills?
No.
Well, they didn't do it personally themselves.
I don't go there. Do you want to get back on track?
We're on track.
We are.
Do you think they would have used like cheat codes to get to their level? They would have been. Well, of
course.
See, here's the issue.
Anything to win.
Here's the issue with me is I'm employed and I have other things I have to do. I might have over 1 million kills if I was. A lot of these kids I see playing on these games
do it professionally.
Oh boy,
they probably do.
Oh, there are people that do that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I'm thinking the Call of Duties, as much as I love them and how addictive and fun they are, I can't help but wait for the new games that come out. I need something.
New systems are coming.
What's coming?
The new systems.
Oh, that's right. PS4?
Yep. What are they calling the Xbox one?
Xbox 3.
Yeah. No,
I don't have a fucking
I was
clue.
gonna say no. They went Xbox 360.
Maybe 720.
Oh, you know what? I think it is something
Is it?
like that. Yeah. I think that leads pretty good into the next topic.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
The game. I was gonna say we've been playing video games. We're old enough to have the original Nintendo. I remember that. I remember on Christmas getting the original Nintendo.
Yeah, but
with
it was
Super Mario
like
3.
it was like a while. It was after though it came out. Like I remember when I got it. Like we had to. My brother and I had to like beg our
That's
parents to
true.
get us.
Yeah, that would have been the early '90s, and it
'Cause
came
you-
out like early '80s.
You know the ironic nature of the original video game systems.
Well, it was before Super Nintendo though, so I mean, it
Oh,
was
yeah,
still yeah.
The ironic nature of the video game systems was that the original argument against them is because the games are violent.
Yeah.
You look at the games now.
Compared to they're so much more realistic.
I will load up Black Ops. I will get a 5 kill streaks, and I will dump napalm on the other team. And they thought jumping on a mushroom guy's head in a turtle shell was violent.
It is violent. Like we were saying with Eden the Star.
Can you get your keys?
Why?
So I'm gonna drive over to GameStop right now and trade all my games in because I feel awful. I feel so bad.
I bet you do.
Oh, sorry. Never mind. I'm good.
You good? That was That was a weird moment there.
So what were you saying? We got all the systems. What do you
yeah,
think-
we've
If you had
grew up
if you
with
had
Nintendo,
to, if you
starting
had
with
to
Nintendo.
say, because you have a different experience than me. If you had to take your top 3, well, 5? No, 5 is gonna be tough. Let's just say 3 to save time.
okay.
Your 3 favorite, not necessarily what the best games that came out for, because other people can say that, but your 3 favorite systems. And I want to say 3, 2, 1. So your third most favorite, your second most, and your first most.
Okay.
Listen to me right now. No explanations why. Just boom, boom, boom.
No explanations. I
No,
don't
we'll
like
get
that.
into it next, but you just list them off right now.
Oh man. All right. Let's see. I know number 1.
Don't say it yet.
I know. I
I got mine ready. I got mine ready to go.
Then you go. You go ahead and give me time to think about this. Because, I mean, I only need like a minute or 2. So, do yours. Do your explanations. And then I'll do mine.
All right.
Go.
The third. It's gonna be the Super Nintendo.
See, I was thinking about putting that third, too.
You can't now. Too late. Damn. Super Nintendo. You really had the emergence. I mean, they were already set in stone as classics, but you get the Mario.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, what's your favorite game on Super Nintendo?
It's hard to say, but Donkey Kong Country.
Oh, man, the
That's
Donkey Kong.
fucking
That's right.
great.
See, that's the thing. Like, some of the big franchises started on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, where they really emerged.
Yoshi started on Super Nintendo.
Fuck Yoshi.
Donkey Kong, like you said.
That big tongued asshole.
Oh, Yoshi, yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying Donkey Kong. I was like, the fuck are you talking about? Yo, I love Yoshi.
Yeah, he's badass. I'll say my second is the Xbox 360. And
Yeah.
I gotta say it's because of obviously Call of Duty's awesomeness.
Mm-hmm.
And I will also say it also has to do with what's the studio called? I'm drawing a blank right now.
For what?
For the Xbox,
Studio.
Rockstar.
Oh, Rockstar Games.
GTA 4.
That's not
That's
Xbox. That's everybody.
I know, but I'm thinking of because I'm gonna say the games.
Okay, yeah. GTA.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yep.
What else have I played on there? Handful of other games.
BioShock.
BioShock's nasty.
Yeah. Mass
Um,
Effect.
Mass Effect's
Although
real nasty.
some of these franchises are going over to
They
the
cross.
PlayStation ones. Yeah.
But Xbox also seems to, I don't know how they negotiated it, but they always seem to get the certain things first. I mean, I know you got
well, certain ones they split.
you got to pay for the service.
Yeah.
So that's part of it.
Ugh, I hate that. That's part of the reason why I don't
Yeah.
do Xbox. I do PlayStation.
That's true. And it breaks down all the time.
All right, so what's your number 1?
N64.
Yeah.
By far and away, N64 is the nostalgic, classic, great games. You got fucking
I was gonna say,
Zelda,
give me 5 games.
Zelda,
Mm-hmm.
GoldenEye,
Yep.
No Mercy,
Ooh.
But then you even got the weird ones. You got like Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Which I know because that came out with SNES, but
one more. Come on. You gave me 4.
Mario Kart's a great one.
Mario Kart. That's 5. All right.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
See, all right. No, that's too many. That's 5.
But that's the point. You can keep going. That's why it's number 1.
Well, give me my 5.
Oh, you wanted to do your 5?
Well, maybe they're on my list.
All right. Well, you start with your third favorite system.
All right. I'm gonna go a little offbeat, and it's because of something a little ashamed of. Gotta admit. Number 3 is gonna be Game Boy. Going off the beaten path. And you know why?
Pokemon.
Yep.
Tetris.
Back in the day, I was the right age. Oh, I loved Pokemon. Me and your brother.
What'd you start off with? Charmander?
I had the red one, yeah.
What were the 3?
I had the red game.
Charmander.
Well, see, you're talking about
Those
the
2.
flame ones.
There's only 2.
No. That's the thing. There were 2 games.
Oh,
Red and
and
green.
blue. Red and blue.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. Red and the blue.
You're the fan. I should not be correcting you.
There were 2 games, but there were the 3 kinds that you would get. The flame guy, the water guy, or the plant guy, the green guy. But yeah, it was the blue game and the red game. I had the red game.
Blastoise?
No, wait a minute.
It was red and blue.
No, I had the blue game because I could get. Yeah, well, that's the thing. They changed 3 times.
Those
Charmander.
marketing geniuses. You had to buy both to get all.
That's right.
To catch them all, you had to buy 2.
That's right. Or you trade with someone else.
Cheaters.
But anyway, that was number 3. And it was purely because of Pokemon. I loved Pokemon back in the day. Number 2, I'm going to say PlayStation 3. It could be PlayStation 2, but I'm going to go with PlayStation 3. You know why?
Because you can backtrack it. You can, what's it called? You can play the PS2 games in the PS3.
Depends on the kind of system you've had. See, I've had a bad experience with my PlayStation 3. I've had to send it in and get new ones because it keeps breaking. My PlayStation 2 never did that, but PlayStation 3 is better. And my reason for that is because of Rock Band. I love Rock Band. I still play it. PlayStation 3 had the drums.
Do you know how we just
not.
got done talking about how I have 83,000 kills in Call of Duty?
Yeah. How many games played?
You might be pretty close to 83,000 songs on Rock Band.
You're honestly probably not that far off.
How many songs do you think?
See, that's the
You've
thing.
got. Do you have over 1,000 songs?
I can't tell because every time I send it in, I have to. It resets
Reload
everything. Plus, I was playing that back on the PlayStation 2. That was before the drums.
Oh, that's right.
I've been playing that for years, man.
That is very, very
It's
true.
been seriously like since my sophomore year of college. So, let's say 2006.
You might have to bring that. Well,
That's been like
fuck.
7
You don't have a
years.
working guitar controller, do you?
Now, right now, I'm on eBay.
Fuck.
I might be able to get an entire set: drums, microphone, guitar, for like $50.
You've got a microphone right here.
I know, but I was thinking about that. Right now, my drums are working, but how long is it going to take before they break?
Yeah.
For
I would
$50 to get all of them. Not bad.
I would say you should get 2 guitars because I was thinking I have been going through Rock Band withdrawal. Now that you bring it up,
Yeah.
because you could bring it over here, hook it up, and with the headphones.
Oh, and just not do drums
would
but
be
do
fucking awful.
Well, I still have my Guitar Hero ones. Those still work.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, because you always used to use one of those.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And I use my.
So maybe that's a good idea.
So yeah.
But the son of a bitch upstairs won't allow those drums to be fucking beaten on.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should just come over one day.
That cunt,
Anyway.
That cunt fuck.
My number. So PlayStation 3.
So wait, you started with Game Boy, then you
Yep.
went to PS3.
Yep. Number 1 is of course Nintendo 64.
Tied it up, baby.
It's the best. It was the formative years.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna go with GoldenEye, Perfect Dark,
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Conkers,
Okay.
ISS.
I just looked down. I saw it in my system.
You forget about that one, but it's great.
ISS is so good because it's got the playability and it's just a really well put together game, but it's got that it doesn't. A lot of people don't like it when they don't have the licenses to have the actual real players.
Mm-hmm.
I like it how they got the made up characters, like
Carboni
on Italy.
Oh God, Keegan on
Keegan.
England. Oh my God, I was watching a game the other day. I forget, it wasn't soccer, but it was a game. Oh, it might have been lacrosse. And the guy goes, "But play continues." I was just
No.
like, "Holy shit!" I had to explain the whole thing to my parents and go, "But play continues."
International Superstar Soccer, the
Greatest announcer
well,
ever. Well,
and
all right.
here's the magical thing about the
Tiger
N64
Woods has the golf announcer. He's up there with him, but this guy's like the best fake announcer I've
Well,
ever known.
here's the thing about the N64 at the time. N64 with the amount of data that could be held compared to like a PlayStation game on the CD or newer ones of DVDs, there was not a lot of audio that would go other than like background music. There's not a lot of actual commentary and stuff that would go along with the games.
There was music, yeah, but no
International
not a lot of voice.
Superstar Soccer has like the greatest and again I haven't played it in a while, but you should do
your top. You should find and do a top 10 list. I know you've thought about it of his phrases. You may have posted one on Facebook, but you should do a top
it's
10
been a
list
long
of
time.
your favorite phrases from International Superstar Soccer.
We'd have to play it again. And then the best part is
I've been telling you I want to play it again.
He's got so many that sometimes if there's a couple really good plays in a row, that it's like after the fact, like 10 seconds later, he's still getting caught up in saying all of his bullshit.
By the way, I'm just going to throw my fifth game in there. I said 4. I don't know if it's actually my fifth game, but I think it needs to be mentioned. Super Smash Brothers.
Oh man, Super Smash Bros. That was a, I'll say it again, a genre-defying game.
It was that was one of the first. Well, they had Marvel versus Capcom.
Well,
but that was the first.
Different though, because it all took.
What's the other one with the sword? The
Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur, yeah.
Well, here's when I say genre-defying. Even Soul Calibur and Marvel vs. Capcom, they all were based off of the Mortal Kombat system, right?
That's true. This is the first one with 4.
Well, not even that, but it was also based on
the single player too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was also based on the simplicity of the attacks and the movement, and combining it with super popular brand name characters. Like with Mortal Kombat, like those were characters in and of the game itself. And to be really good at it, you had to play that shit for hours upon hours, which accumulated to days and days to get the crazy combos and you fought people down so where they would die. Whereas Smash Bros was different
more
because
loose.
Yeah, one you had the brand name characters from Nintendo, plus you had the simplistic aspect of fighting the people with simple buttons. There was no crazy things like the longer you hold on B, there's a super move, and it was also different with the fact that. Well, some of them did.
Yeah, that Samus had that with the B button.
That's what I said though. But they're simple.
You said they didn't have that.
No, I said they're simple compared to the crazy combinations from Mortal Kombat, like the crazy fatalities.
Oh yeah.
And the difference is you've got to knock the player off of. You can knock the player off of the screen or off of the landscape or the map, so to say. Whereas Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur and Street Fighter, you got to beat them down to where they they have no more health, they die. So they changed.
Yeah, it was much more free environment. Not only multiple levels and the point of the game, you don't just kill the guy, you knock him off, but you can go up, and then there's other enemies you have to worry about as well.
Oh, the third parties.
Yeah. Just if you're you can have free for all with 4 guys just going nuts. Or you can have 2-on-2. I mean,
that's true.
It was. You're right. It was It may have been the first of that kind of game, like just free for all, just beat them up.
Yeah, and then it's the same way that like it's also the same way. Fuck it, whoever the people the
You're going back to the violence.
Well, no. The folks at Nintendo were so smart because they now to add on to. The Smash Bros. Again, Smash Bros. Came after. It was the second version of it. But you go back to Mario Kart. Mario Kart was so fucking fun because people love racing games.
Yeah.
But not everyone wants to fucking worry about fucking pit stops. Right? Like I used to try to play NASCAR games and I don't want a fucking pit stop. It's boring as fuck.
It goes back to my thing with Madden. I don't necessarily want realistic. I just want a fucking video game.
Yeah, you want a video game.
Yeah.
Blow people out 73-8. Like who gives a shit? You just destroy them.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing with Mario
Kart.
You
want a blue shell to take out the lead guy.
Blue shell. You know what? The blue shell was such a powerful item in Mario Kart that in college we used to play Mario Kart Double
couldn't
Dash on the
use it.
GameCube. No, you could use it.
Oh.
What we did is someone found out how, because the blue shell, to describe to people who don't know, when you're playing Mario Kart, you've got your race with 4 people, or if you're a couple people and you got some computer controlled or computer folks that are driving around the course, and you can throw weapon type items at people to try to disrupt their progress through the course. And so the blue shell was the ultimate thing, because what it would do is it would automatically, you'd shoot it and go up in the air. It had little wings on it. It was a blue, like a turtle shell, the blue shell. It would go up in the air and you would take out the person in first place.
Yeah.
There's no way to escape it. It just goes up. It hits them.
Yes. I know.
Yeah,
but...
I'm explaining it to people who want to know. So, and it also creates a blast radius.
Oh, they did blast radius and double dash.
Oh yeah, so the blue shell would hit the person in first place, and there would be like a blast radius of like 10 feet around the person.
Oh damn!
Right, so it would take out people up there who are also up close, so that way the person in last place or close to last place who would get the better stuff would be able to go and catch up. So what we realized what we would do is we would call it a fake blue shell. So you'd be in the back and you'd say blue shell, and so the person in first place would slow down.
Right. So then first,
so they wouldn't be in first, but to also try for people who near them, they'd slow down to take them out too. So there'd be the better chance that everyone would slow down. They get a better chance to get up near the front again.
Right.
So we made it illegal to yell blue shell. We didn't have a blue shell. Because people would yell blue shell and they wouldn't have one. It would totally mess up the race. And so people would start yelling blue shell because they figured out everyone, like the first 3 or 4 people would like slam the brakes on,
right,
and wait, just look around like, is it coming? Is it coming? They see all the people pass them, but there would be no blue shell.
Dicks.
You know, it happened when you got a blue shell. If you yelled the fake blue shell, you had to drink.
Okay.
You got to fucking punch in the arm as hard as possible from everyone around you.
Not bad.
Yeah. You don't want to be rude about it.
Reminds me, I finally found, like, in every, like, Madden game with trading, there's always, like, a glitch that you can, do. They change it for every game. I finally found the glitch in the new game.
What, to get any player you want?
Almost. Like, you can, like, load up on draft picks and shit, and this time they made it harder.
Is this this is the same game that you said that
yeah,
they installed or they initiated the fantasy draft, but you couldn't erase it? So now you have a trick?
Not with the fantasy draft, with like the actual draft. Like you did the fantasy draft, and now you go through the season, and you have the draft to get like fake players. Apparently, what you can do is when it's your turn to pick, you pause the menu, and it gives you a bunch of options. If someone is willing to trade up, they'll offer you a trade. Or you say, you can make your pick or whatever. I figured out that I can make a pick, keep the player, and then before I go back to resume draft, go back, make the trade. Usually what they want to do is they want to trade a future round pick for this year. And the way it works in the real NFL and the way it works in the game is if you want to trade into, let's say, the second round in this year's draft, you have to give me a first rounder for next year.
Yeah, like a legit trade.
Yeah. So I'm in the second round. Someone wants to trade up. I pick my player. I still get to keep them. Then I trade with them, get their first round pick for next year.
That's cheap.
And apparently it goes through because I just figured it out like.
Oh my god! I gotta email John. I gotta email John Madden right now.
Every game there's something like that you can do. And I just finally figured it out with this one. So maybe I can still make my super team.
Super teams are really good.
I was pissed though because I was simulating through with the Giants. I won like 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, and they fired me.
Well, you're a cheater.
I figured that out in the last year.
Better than Barry Bonds.
It's funny because the only team that offered me a contract after that was
who?
The Patriots. Video games.
I love. You talk about football games. I love going back in the old football games where you could.
That was the other thing about the 64. There were other games besides just Madden.
Oh yeah. So like Quarterback Club, I remember I created a team and I put every person's stats down to 0, and I would just see because injury was be down to 0. They were so injury prone. I would see how many people could injure in one game.
And what was the record?
I don't know, but it was like probably like 8 or 9.
That's it? I feel like it should be
Well,
more.
after a while, they can't sub people in.
8 or 9? They only got to put 22 on the field.
Yeah, but still.
So what did they do?
I had to
they
play
quit
offense
the game,
and
or
defense.
Yeah, so like what happened? Like,
well, it's like
did
an
you just start going out with 9 guys?
No, it's like in like you remember NHL hits. You could do the fights.
Yeah.
We could do the if you lose
and
a
you
fight.
knock the guy out.
Yeah, you just lose your first 3 guys, but after a while you're not gonna have any guys left, so they have to keep the guy in. So it's the same theory. So people would be.
I never
they'd be
saw
getting
that
down.
in NHL hits.
They do the animation where I'm going back to football, but they do the animation where they're down, and even if their like neck is injured, they only did an animation where they'd hold their ankle.
Was that the only? Was NHL hits was the only game where they like went and did the close up and they did the actual fights, or was that in something else?
Was that in Gretzky?
I feel like it might have been Gretzky too.
That might have been. Hits was
that's
great.
great. I love that.
Yeah.
See, that's another game. I want to go back. I actually played Gretzky recently.
Really?
But if that's part of Gretzky, I want to go. I want to play the game wherever that was. I've been
another
bugging you to play
N64
ISS. We got to do that.
I also
time
wonder,
and time again why N64 is the greatest one.
I also wonder how much you take advantage of the fact that the 64 was the first actual 3D system.
Well, I see it more as it was our formative years.
It happened to be both, which we really lucked
So
out
like
on.
for guys a little bit older than us, Super Nintendo is probably their 64. You know?
Well, that's true.
Because that was a great system too.
Yep. Excite Bike.
I
don't know. It
I
just
didn't play
came
that
down in my
one.
head.
Yeah.
What's next on our list, Mike?
Next on the list, commercials, Super Bowl commercials. I like commercials. I like talking about good commercials, bad commercials.
We're gonna take a pause for this quick commercial break. Commercial break is totally over.
Yeah, commercials. Speaking of,
Is your mic in a good spot right there?
I think so.
Is your mic in a good spot?
Should be, yeah.
What are we talking about? Oh, you want?
Commercials.
I know what we can
good
talk
commercials,
about.
bad commercials. Super Bowl commercials. What?
Best ever.
What's your all-time favorite?
Terry Tate, office linebacker.
Mine too.
Which is ironic because I hate commercials now that use stupid fucking.
Well, that was the first.
Huh?
That was the first.
First what?
First commercial that I'm guessing whatever you're about to describe.
Terry, I love to go back. We should probably load them up and watch them, but I don't like the cliched physical comedy in commercials, like the what's the new hard cider commercial? Angry Orchard.
Oh, when it throws like the apple.
Throws
at
the apple at the guy, knocks him out. Oh, wow, that's fun for.
Some of those are funny.
I don't know
sometimes
who.
they're
I
not.
don't know who it's funny for. It's not funny for me. But Terry Tate's the same kind of thing. He's like attacking people.
Oh no, but those are.
But Terry Tate is
great.
different, I think, because he's got like the verbal harassment included after. So after he just destroys some lady who was like running down or was like walking down the aisle with some paperwork, he just destroys her. He just taunts over her face.
I always think of one where he's like talking over a woman, and he's like yelling at her, and a woman walks by and goes, "Hey Terry," he goes, "Hey Janice, motherfucker," it just cuts off.
Hey Janice. I do remember that. That was great. See, he's still professional at his job.
It was man,
as rough as he can be. He's a professional.
Oh yeah,
he's an office sweetheart as long as you don't mess with him. Pop quiz.
Okay.
What was the advertisement for?
Reebok.
Oh, you got it. You're good. I
knew that one. See, honestly, I feel like that guy became somebody. Like I've seen him in something else.
Terry Tate.
I almost want to look it up. I feel like he's like a comedian slash actor.
Was Terry Tate Bob Sapp? No.
Bob Sapp.
Bob Sapp is a big MMA. He's not a big.
No.
Physically, he's a big guy.
No, I'm talking just pure actor comedian. I've seen him in something else besides.
He might have been. I think he might have been in. Was he in The Longest Yard? Or am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Terry Crews.
Well, Terry Crews.
I don't think so.
I think I too. I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up later, but He
probably got a good retirement pension for how good he was at his career, his job at Reebok offices.
That was the greatest commercial of all time. All of them. But, like, I remember they had a bunch of videos, and maybe not all of them were even commercials.
Do you remember how absolutely gigantic the Budweiser frogs were?
Yes.
When the day after that Super Bowl and that hit,
I remember a kid,
Bud,
like years later,
why
that had a T-shirt that just. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of a different Budweiser commercial. The frogs were big.
The "Was Up" was big.
That's what I was thinking of.
But
the kid just had a T-shirt that said "Was Up" on it, like with a million U's.
Quite honestly, though, the "Was Up" was just a shitty ripoff of the Budweiser. Remember the original one, the Budweiser? The frog?
I remember. I'm considering if it's a ripoff, you know.
It wasn't really a ripoff. I mean, it was the same company, but they were trying for that same sort of aura about the commercial.
Yeah.
They needed another big hit.
I agree.
The Clydesdales weren't keeping it up as they used to be.
Budweiser was good at doing those commercials. They were all Super Bowl commercials too.
Oh yeah, no, they were good. For
Not
what they
the Terry
were.
Tate ones though.
Terry Tate.
Lately, the best ones.
Terry Tate is in the Commercial Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? ESPN has multiple Hall of Fame candidates too.
Oh, the ESPN ones are classic. I love the Peyton Manning and Eli Manning.
Oh yeah.
They're taking the tour through the studios and they're kicking each other behind the back.
I love the classic. They're preparing for Y2K, and the place just goes ballistic, and it ends with Rod Steiner with his tie like on his head, and with the and the knot to the side, and he just looks at the camera and goes, "Follow me to freedom."
Yeah. There's a recent one too, and I can't remember the guy's name. He's the older guy. He's like balding, and they go. He does his little segment on the air, and then they cut to his house. Mm-hmm. He's in his house, and he goes.
John Clayton.
Clayton, yes.
John love
Clayton.
That one.
He goes and he's in his room, and he turns on his fucking music. He's got like some metal song.
Yeah, he's got metal. He's got the long hair. He's eating Chinese food, and he sits in his bed. I just saw it today. He just goes, "Ma, I'm done with my segment." And they're sitting there going, "Yeah, man, you need an update. He's the most professional. Got to go to John Clayton."
But it also reminds me of a young man we just saw on a commercial, but we couldn't hear it because we got it low. No volume because of the podcast. He was donning a New York Rangers jersey.
Oh, Henrik the king.
Henrik the Freak Lundqvist. And by freak, I mean he's a nice guy.
Freak in a good way. When you call sports athletes freaks, that's good.
Yeah, and he's a good guy. I happened to meet him this weekend. Many people may have seen a Facebook post where my girlfriend ran into the lovely Henrik Lundqvist. Would you like to know about the story, Michael?
Why not? Yes, indeed.
So I was on a business trip. Met the girlfriend in a Buffalo, New York hotel.
You met your girlfriend in a Buffalo hotel?
We met up for this occasion.
You met her on just like at random at that hotel?
Yeah, just like we met the Rangers at random. No, she met me out there.
Oh, you have a girlfriend here.
Oh, it's not magical. It's not make-believe. It's real. So we're at a table kind of behind the bar, and the way the setup was of the hotel, there was like the lobby, then you can kind of just walk right into the bar. But we were kind of behind, and the New York Rangers were playing the Buffalo Sabres that night, and the Rangers absolutely smoked the Sabres.
Yeah, it was like 8-3. Yeah, wasn't it?
I was gonna say 7-3, or it might have been 8-3 the final score. And so
they're up 6-0 at some point.
All of a sudden, I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and we're drinking our drinks. I was drinking a Blue Light, standard Blue Light. She had a Bloody Mary, and
we should get Blue Light to sponsor us.
That'd be great. And all of a sudden, all this commotion is going on, and we can't really see in the lobby. But we see people looking, and there's some people running out from their seats, running up into the lobby, like, what's going on over there? And so I kind of stand up in my bar stool. I can kind of see over, and there's a bunch of these guys walking out with suits on, and I'm like, what the heck? What's going on there? And again, this is after the game, so as it turns out, it was the New York Rangers.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big hockey fan. I don't even know if I consider myself a hockey fan anymore. I used to watch.
You know who Henrik Lundqvist is, though.
Well, now I do.
You didn't before, seriously?
Well, let me tell you the story. when I lived on Tip Hill.
Okay.
And I watched hockey with my
With
buddy
Josh.
Josh. Yeah, I knew these guys more. So we were just finishing up our drink. I went to the bar to close my tab before we went out to downtown in Buffalo, and so I asked two guys sitting at the bar. I'm like, I go, who's these guys over here? Because this is before I realized it was the Rangers. I had a
Oh, you
feeling
didn't know?
not right away. I had a feeling it might be. So I asked these two guys, who are obviously Buffalo Sabres fans.
Oh.
And they were not too thrilled about the whole situation. I go, what's going on over here with these guys? He goes, those are the guys that know how to play hockey, apparently.
Oh.
They were not
snap. Oh my God. That's perfect Buffalo. Those are the guys who apparently know how to play hockey. I remember every 8 years I go to a Giants game in Buffalo because we can actually get tickets there. And one year that we went, we had a kicker who won the game on a field goal. He wasn't even the first string, maybe not even second string kicker. He hadn't hit anything over like 35 yards all year, and he hit like a 47-yarder to win this game.
Wow.
And during the game, the Buffalo went for it on like 4th and 1.
Brad DeLuise?
No, it wasn't Brad DeLuiso.
Oh, DeLuiso?
I don't remember his name. But towards the end of the game, Buffalo went for it on like 4th and 1. Honestly, it wasn't that bad of an idea, but it didn't work out. The Giants stopped him. And the entire way back, all we heard on the radio was they were calling it 4th and stupid. They were just so upset. And that's the perfect Buffalo thing. Not, the other team did well, God, this team just sucks.
Or they're
better. Just terrible and just, they know how to play hockey. We're stupid for going for it on 4th down.
I don't even bother showing up. So anyway,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So I just confirmed it. I had a feeling it was. I just confirmed it was the Rangers from the guys at the bar, and I go out, and a lot of them had left. Either they had limos coming or cars or whatever, picking them up outside. And so I go up to the side. I'm standing there with my girlfriend, and I'm looking over, and a couple people go up. It was really weird too because this one guy was wearing a Rangers jersey. He was all decked out in his Rangers jersey, and this still bothers me. And
What do you
really
mean decked out in his Rangers jersey?
He had just a Rangers jersey on, and he's like the super fan. And I guess it would be different because I might do the same thing if it was like the Giants guys. It might be different because everyone has their things.
Yeah.
But
What happens if you run into Eli?
Hey Eli, what's going on? Big fan. Gotta take a picture. That's it.
I have another tangent, but I want you to keep going.
But here, it's just weird. Another thing came up where, I always think it goes back to like college athletics and college athletes. Like I don't really give a shit, other than when they actually play the game. Like they're
kids.
They're younger than me. They're kids, and they're probably assholes because a lot of them are just assholes. Pompous. And so people were taking pictures, and so this one guy is decked out. He's got his Rangers jersey on. He goes, "Oh, can I shake your hand?" Like he needed like some sort of a.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
He needed a blessing from the almighty player.
He needed to be able to touch the godly.
These are just
They're just guys.
Yeah, just go up like if. So one day when this podcast makes us millions of dollars and we're very famous, and let's pretend I'm somebody from let's say I'm from Kentucky and I run into Mike, and I go, "Hey Mike, what's going on? Very nice to meet you. Great stuff. I love your show."
Yeah.
Like I walked up to you. We're sitting here, and I reached my hand out and I shook your hand like a man.
Yep.
No, this guy.
Gosh, see the
I'd
funny
love
part
to.
of that.
Can I shake your hand? No. You go up, you extend your arm.
Extend your hand.
Like a gentleman with the respect that you deserve as a human being.
You don't ask. You
don't
just
ask,
put your
you just
hand
do
out.
it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't shake your hand, then he's a douchebag. He's a dumbass.
Exactly.
And you're just a normal guy who, on the same level of the same brainwaves, understands that you're both men. Yeah, he might be good at a sport or make lots of money, but you're just dudes. You're like, hey, good job. Great game tonight. You don't ask them for permission. That's just a pansy thing to do.
Well, that's the other thing about hockey too. Is of all the sports, professional sports especially, hockey players are the most regular guys that you just like hang out with and have a beer with, and just like
I'd imagine.
They got to be the easiest. So of all the sports people, the hockey guy is the guy you go and ask to shake his hand. I could see that with like some pompous basketball player, or somebody who thinks he's like all that, but a fucking hockey player. Anyway, So the super fan
the
walks
guy,
up and
super fan, and I believe he shook the hand of Lundqvist. But where I was standing with my girlfriend, we were kind of on the side, and the way the hotel is set up in the lobby, there's like 4 pillars, and there's a big like globe in the middle. So it was kind of hard for me to see who was there. And again, I really hadn't watched the. I mean, I'll watch him if they're on and nothing else is on, but I hadn't really seen any faces or anything, so I'm not that familiar. So I didn't
well, he's
really,
wearing a mask too.
well, that's also true. But I'm talking like post-game interviews. I'm not like
Sure.
I used to see him. So I'm looking around, and there's probably 10 to 15 of them in the lobby. And I noticed there was like 2 guys taking pictures and stuff. So I was trying to spot like who's the more popular guy, who's everyone else asking for autographs or asking for pictures with. I'll try to get them.
Sure.
And so hopefully I'll just kind of like.
Sure, you want to get the popular. You don't want the.
Yeah.
If you don't know the team, you want to get the popular guys.
I'll take an educated guess as who the popular guy is. So this one guy walks around the corner after getting his picture taken like 2 or 3 times, and I don't know who the hell it is.
Okay.
And I go to my girlfriend and I go, "Hey, you want to get a picture?" I go, "You want to take my picture?" And it's like, "Nah, I don't need a picture. Like, it's just whatever. He's a hockey player, no big deal." So he comes walking past, looking out for his limo or cars are coming. And I go, "Oh, hey!" I go, "Do you mind? Can I snag a picture of you with my girlfriend? We're big fans. I'd really appreciate it." Just like that, just
Yeah.
totally sold it. Like, "Oh, I'm cool." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know your name.
Yeah, if
just
you
gonna-
just do it like that,
I'm just gonna sell it. He's like, "Oh yeah, sure." You know, like, put their arms around her, like they take a great picture. It's like
saw it. It was a good picture.
We knew everything about hockey. We know what the blue lines mean, which I don't know. I don't know anything about blue lines, but I know that I took a picture with apparently one of the best goaltenders currently in the NHL.
He won the trophy last year.
Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Got it. My girlfriend. We got a picture with Henrik Lundqvist, and immediately I texted it to Josh.
I was gonna say, what did Josh say?
Because I go, I just got this picture, and I don't know who the hell it is. Who is it?
You texted that to Josh with that question?
Yeah, with the picture.
Oh, man.
And, well, because it was weird because originally the same guy, the same pussy guy who asked to be able to shake the guy's hand, like he was shaking some royalty or something.
Down-to-earth hockey player.
Yeah. Well, he said something like, "Thanks, Steve." And I know there was like 2 of them taking a picture, so I didn't know if this guy was named Steve.
Okay.
And so first I'm thinking Steve Nash. But I was thinking of Rick Nash. Steve Nash is the basketball player. Rick Nash is the hockey player who's on the Rangers.
Right.
Who I might also add used to play with all the time on GameCube when I played the 1v1v1 with my boy Reggie and Josh.
1v1v1.
Triple threat match,
Oh,
as we call it
man.
in layman's terms. Yeah. Those are great.
Anyway,
so Josh responds back, Henrik!
I was gonna say he's gonna be like flipping out.
3 text messages in a row, like tons of exclamation marks. It's like, Henrik! Henrik! And I'm sitting there like, lucky me.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
But the best guy on the team, one of the best guys in the league.
Yeah, he's super, super nice. And it's funny because
how was his English?
Solid. He's just like, yeah, sure. Like, he didn't talk that much.
No accent? Like, you didn't?
A little bit. You could tell a little bit.
Okay.
But it was funny because my girlfriend goes,
I was going to say, she doesn't know. Like,
no. And I kind of threw her in the situation.
Yeah.
Luckily, he was real nice. He didn't say no. She would have felt bad. I would have felt bad. But he's like, he smelled like a lot of cologne. But if you think about it, he has to, because no matter how much showering you do.
Oh, hockey player, like
hockey pads,
the
equipment.
Those are famous for just smelling like ass.
Oh, it's so bad. It's just a waste of time to wash them. You just got to deal with it otherwise. I remember I always killed myself. I went to one hockey game. I had a couple of friends in high school that played on the hockey team. I only went to one hockey game. I don't know why, but it was awesome. But I remember walking. I remember walking out at the end of the game past the locker rooms, and I'm like, from here, I was like probably 15 feet away from the door of the locker room, and I walked past. I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? And my buddy's like, dude, that's the hockey equipment. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is brutal.
It's bad. Yeah.
It is more offensive than the Swarpocalypse.
This is like, all right, people wouldn't use my equipment in baseball because I sweat so much, but it didn't stink like that. I don't know where that comes from. Like, it's specifically hockey equipment. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's the combination of cold ice and hot sweat.
Oh man, it's a special kind of sweat. Honestly, I think
Canadian sweat.
it's a hockey sweat. They're like fear sweat will smell different. Like the hockey sweats. Oof.
It's got me saying, what the puck?
Oh my god. What? That's the second terrible pun tonight. Fuck you. God damn it. Oh my god.
All right.
Oh, horrible.
So I'm at Henrik Lundqvist. I got a picture with my girlfriend.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
I fucking rule. I don't ask for handshakes. I just take pictures like a fucking man.
You do it the right way.
I just come up. I say, hey, can you grab a quick picture? He's like, yeah, cool. You're cool. You're not fucking weirdo. And I take the picture.
I was a little starstruck when I met G-Mac, but I was basically the same way.
That's true. He does sell cars for hunting.
No, he came into the restaurant one day.
Oh.
Got pictures.
Nice.
G-Mac's the man.
Very nice.
All right. Let's move on to the next topic, which is you apparently made some food the other day.
No, tonight.
Oh, it was tonight?
I made it tonight.
Okay, now I want to explain something here. You said that you've been wanting to eat a little bit healthier.
A little healthier.
So you're doing a little bit of research, and you're trying to eat healthier, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Mitch, I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
What have I been doing lately?
Cooking?
No, not really. I mean, nothing really, because I haven't had a job, right?
Chefing?
Not like recently. I've not had a job, so really nothing, right? I've had a lot of free time.
Uh-huh.
Now, what do I do for a living?
Chefing?
Why the fuck wouldn't you ask me a single goddamn question if you want to start eating healthier?
Because if there's anything that I know about you and your cooking abilities and skills and the education that you went through, is that the only thing that you ever learned about cooking tasty things
Not true.
is adding mayonnaise, bacon,
cream and butter.
Cream.
That's not true. That's what makes restaurant food taste awesome. It doesn't mean I don't know how to cook correctly. I know what makes things taste good. So you don't ask me a single question. I'm disappointed.
I asked the internet, which is the conglomeration of all knowledge known to humankind. So I decided to.
Shameful.
I decided to take myself on a flavor trip.
A flavor trip.
To what I call the fake burrito town.
All right. So what did you make? A fake burrito. What is in this fake burrito?
Well, there's no baked beans.
Okay.
Or rice. So what I did.
Sounds like almost like a spring roll.
Yeah. Except for it's almost summer right now. So what I did is
summer rolls too.
What
do you mean it's almost summer? It's spring.
I wanted to get
April.
I know. I wanted to get some protein, some fiber, not a lot of carbs, and also some flavor, but without getting lots of fat and sodium and other shit. So, being the diabolical schemer that I am, I was like, let me get some eggs for the protein.
Okay. I'm always a fan of eggs. My favorite all-time food.
Eggs are really good.
Eggs are great because you cannot name a single food that cannot go with, because they're so versatile. You can say, like chocolate or ice cream.
How about
put it in a cake?
How about Doritos?
Doritos with eggs. Oh, I bet I could find a way. Off the top of my head.
Dip them in the yolk?
No.
Or as I call it, dead embryos.
Eggs. You make mayo, which you make a dip.
Ooh.
To dip the Doritos into. Hell, dip the Doritos into mayo. That's made of eggs and oil and mustard. There you go.
Not too bad.
See? Eggs are so versatile, it goes with everything. So anyway, so you put eggs.
So let me also make sure you understand how serious I am about this.
What did you use for wrapping?
I used a whole wheat tortilla wrap.
Okay, so tortilla. All right.
Yeah. So not a lot of bread, not a lot of carbs.
So, but a tortilla wrap would actually be a burrito. So.
Constitute a burrito type indulgement.
Right. Desmond Trufant is not a D end. He's a cornerback.
Anyways, so I got my eggs. I also learned a trick how to take the yolks out of the egg, because the yolks have lots of that cholesterol.
Yeah.
Which rumors say is bad for your heart.
What was your technique? Because I know of like 3.
There's a plastic bottle, like a Pepsi bottle,
and
you squeeze in, so you exert the air, and then you suck that yolk right in like a champ. You
know what you do? You crack the egg. I'll tell you 2 right now. Crack the egg and make sure you have 2 decent sides, and just go back and forth until you have only the yolk left.
Uh-huh.
Or just do it with your fucking hand.
Really?
Put the whole egg in your hand, and then put it so like the yolk is in your palm. The white will spill out through your fingers.
I gotta wash my hands.
But you're not gonna have to wash your hands after cracking the egg anyway.
Oh, you're right.
So,
Ooh,
what's the
good,
point?
That's a good
What's the
tip.
difference? You can, or you can spend like fucking probably $15 and buy the thing that separates it itself, or you can do it with your goddamn hands or the shell. It comes pre-made right with the shell.
Nice. All right, so I got my wheat tortilla wrap.
Yes, and eggs.
Got 2 eggs.
Okay.
Now I needed another protein source so I could feel filled up.
Sure.
Tuna fish.
Tuna fish.
Tuna fish and
All right, you're starting to.
and mushrooms.
I gotta tell you
Mushrooms are
something.
good.
I gotta tell you something. My dad looks at me sometimes because, like, for example, the other day, I woke up. I had a bowl of granola in milk. Just like cereal. I had that, and I waited like maybe 5-10 minutes. And I decided I wanted to have like a lunch kind of thing, so I had guacamole and chips. My dad looks at me.
Lunch? Guacamole
or
and chips?
like a snack. My dad looks at me and goes, "You've got to be the only person I've ever met that can just do that." My taste buds, I can like separate my taste buds and eat one thing and eat the next thing next. Like anything. Mushrooms, tuna fish, and eggs does not sound appealing so far. But I'm gonna let you keep going. I want to hear what the rest of this is, and then I want to hear your verdict on what it actually tasted like.
Oh.
So, please continue.
So, I got
I think
mushrooms.
This could be
So
worse than the Swearpocalypse.
I got the eggs.
Tuna. With mayo or straight?
Oh, straight.
Straight. You do love your tuna, I gotta say.
Yeah, mayo might have added some flavor. But again, I want to watch the fat content.
You can buy the light mayo.
I would have loved it. But I'm saying I'm trying to watch myself. I can't afford mayo right now.
Gotta watch the calorie intake.
Yeah. Give me half regular, half diet. And so then here's a very interesting one to tie back into the burrito flavor and the Mexican flavor of the burrito.
There's no Mexican in this so far.
Well, this is
except for tortilla.
This is where I'm getting to. I bought taco seasoning.
Oh God! Come on with the order. Take forever.
So I had taco seasoning.
Okay.
Yeah, to do a little flavor in there, and then that was that, and then I had Frank's Red Hot.
All right.
After the fact,
taco seasoning, Frank's Red Hot, tuna fish,
mushrooms.
eggs, and mushrooms.
Yeah, it was good.
Honestly,
actually, if you subbed out tuna for ham, it was actually pretty fucking tasty.
Tuna fish might be one of the only things that I can't really say goes with eggs.
Yeah, I don't think it does either after having it.
Honestly, everything else in that I could make
It's really
work.
good. The tuna fish really stood out as different.
If you put the Frank's Red Hot and the taco seasoning and mix the tuna fish in that, put the mushrooms on top, and then what was the other thing?
Just egg and the tortilla.
Oh, it was only the eggs and the tortilla. God, if you didn't use tuna fish, if you used anything else, I can't believe you just solved my egg problem. I never, ever.
I solved it by fucking it up.
I gotta think of something.
But again, I
that
think
I can make tuna fish work with eggs.
If you added mayo, it would be different. I think the mayo does help.
Fuck, there it is right there.
Yeah,
eggs are mayo, so maybe that can work.
Want to make one?
You know what you gotta try. You scrambled eggs?
I didn't scramble them.
What'd you do?
I kind of made it like an omelet type style because I was trying to flip it, but I kind of ended up folding it.
Okay,
over.
that's scrambled. The only difference between omelet and scrambled eggs is what you do in the pan.
Yeah.
You scrambled the eggs before you put it into the pan. It's scrambled eggs.
No, I didn't do that before.
You beat the eggs.
No, I didn't.
How the hell did you make an omelet?
I just did the flip.
So you had a fried egg.
2 fried eggs.
Okay.
1 yolk out.
Not an omelet.
I fucked that. I didn't say it was an omelet.
You just said it was kind of like an omelet. You did. You just claimed it was just like an omelet. Okay.
I'm saying it's kind of like an omelet because you
honestly,
do the flip.
I could almost think a fried egg would work in that situation. Maybe not the yolk specifically, but the whites would.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Tuna fish.
You just said that it didn't work with the egg.
Well, possibly of all things, the tuna fish might have been a little off, different than you would expect if you compared to like ham.
What do you mean?
It's
Ham
just
and egg?
ham and egg is a great combination.
Yeah.
But I'm saying because the tuna fish is different than most people anticipate, the flavor was a little different than you would be used to.
Okay.
I still think it was pretty good. And that Frank's Red Hot Sauce
I
just
feel
fucking
like
kicked it out of the park.
if I made that and played with it, yeah, I could. That could be good. You expect me to rip that apart, but it's definitely not traditional. I'll give you that.
Here's the next question, though. With that being said, of the masterpiece that I created, how close am I to being able to go in like Hell's Kitchen and just dominate?
Masterpiece is not the correct word. Sorry, Mitch, but I don't think you would make it even onto the show. I don't want you to take this personally, but your cooking skills are not great.
With my handsome, good looks, my charisma,
I'm not talking about that.
and my way to infuse non-standard meat protein products into eggs.
That's where you're gonna run into trouble.
I could be the curveball that just takes Hell's Kitchen to the next level, or any generic cooking food competition on the TLC or Food Network channel. I could dominate.
Not buying it.
I really think so.
The people on some of those shows like Hell's Kitchen, honestly, are not that talented. I'll tell you a story. My cousin is right now he's a cook. He can be a chef. Right now he's a cook. He has a diner. I love it.
What's the difference between a cook and a
Fantastic.
chef? I thought it was the same thing.
No, very different. First of all, chef runs the kitchen, and it depends on what kind of food you're doing, what kind of restaurant.
What
it
about
is.
like chicken McNuggets? Would that be like a chef?
No, that's just called a minimum wage employee.
Interesting.
Cooks are guys on the line cooks. They make the food, but they don't create. If you know what I'm saying.
They take the
Anyway,
order.
he's really good, and he got his training through the Army. Actually, he was a military guy, and he tried out for one of those shows,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't make it because
It was
they
awful.
literally told him he was too good. One of the
Wait.
things for the show, because one of the things they would do is like, okay, this team has to do a banquet for 50 people, and he's like, well, I can do a banquet by myself for 200 people. So where's the challenge? He was too qualified for the show. So some of those shows, they get really shitty people.
Wow.
He's good.
How many
Don't get
people?
me wrong. He's
how
good.
many people could you do a banquet for?
Depends on what kind of food you're asking me to do.
The
See,
same
that's
guy,
the
the
thing.
same type. The guy just said he could do 200.
I have no idea what kind of food that was.
Oh, you just reiterated the story.
It was a long time ago too. He may have told it to me, but
What
It-
would
yeah,
the,
it all
what would
depends
the-
on the
what
kind of
would the
food.
standard banquet like if you had to do a banquet?
it also depends on what kind of banquet it is. Not only with food, but what kind of service.
Let's say it's a wedding. Let's say it was a wedding.
What kind of
you had
class
the-
wedding? I've done.
And you had the
I've done
standard.
so many. Like, there's no standard. Like, I've done so many different kind. I worked for a catering company for years, so I've done so many different kinds of weddings, from really high end class stuff to just one of the guys I thought was one of the greatest ideas for a reception is everybody does their weddings, like later, and then you have the reception at night. This guy says, do it early, do the wedding early in the morning, like 10 a.m., 12 o'clock, something like that. Have the reception like in your backyard. Get like maybe a bar, but like a couple of kegs, something like that, and then
Kegs are
everything's
good.
done by like 5 to 6 o'clock, and you're good to go. And it's cheap. Do it that way. Anyway, I've done all different kinds. So
How
I
many
mean,
is
there
the
is no
most?
standard.
How many is the most that you ever had to serve at a banquet style? Was it like 200 or so? Was it more than that?
Oh my god, couple thousand at least.
1,000
I've done a couple thousand, yeah.
by yourself?
Not by myself, no.
One person, extra.
No, we were pretty big service.
So
I
on
would-
the
just
big,
kitchen people, I would say like 5 to 8.
Oh,
Probably.
okay, that's all right. So on that biggest one, then what was the menu for that? Like, because obviously you've got to have something that's not too crazy. But if you're gonna have 1,000 people, it's not gonna be
that was
totally. It's not
big.
gonna be totally cheap because they're gonna be able to afford to have 1,000 people in the first place.
No, that was plated service. That was pretty major. I think. Honestly, I know I've done those numbers. I don't specifically remember the events. I know I've done it a couple of times. I'm pretty sure it was plated. It wasn't buffet style. There's probably like 6 different styles
Woo.
of banquets that you can do. I mean, there's so many. There's plated, there's buffet, there's stations. There's, I mean, to call anything standard or average, it's tough to
Now,
do.
did you ever initiate the Hooters waitress style buffet where they would serve the food with large cleavage?
No.
Did you ever think that could have benefited the workplace?
Would have benefited me.
Hell yeah, would have.
Would have been nice. But
And they
no,
serve
I've generally worked, well, generally.
They serve all the wings you
Oh
ever
man, there were a
want.
couple of horror stories in there, but generally I've worked for respectable places, high-end places.
Give me one horror story before we end it for the night.
Oh, when I first moved back here, I worked for a catering company. The guy usually was seasonal. First of all, everything he did was in pencil, as in like accounting books and everything.
So you just erase it and change it as you
Yeah,
wanted?
real sketchy. Real sketchy. Tried to like have me return food and try to reuse it on like other events, which is really bad.
That sounds
And,
sanitary.
like, all right, for a season he'd be open for a couple of months. Any given time he'd have like 4 employees. He'd go through like 30 a season.
30 employees.
And like
oh my
I've
God.
heard of a couple other random people that I've worked with who've like either worked for this guy or known this guy. And it's like, yeah, real sketchy. Like, I'm so glad I got out of that place quick. Real bad.
So when you have 4 employees for a season, so let's just say 4 months out of the year would be a season, right? Maybe 5.
Nah. Yeah, 5, maybe 6.
And so you have 4 employees that you're supposed to employ for that full time or part time for that, and he instead of 4, he would have to run through 30 people.
Yep.
I could see maybe 8 and do a full 100% turnover, right?
That's how sketchy this guy was.
You would do 30.
That's what I heard. I didn't stick around long enough.
Give me his number, and I'll tell him about my new eggs. I'll give him my.
He might
eggs
like
thing.
it. This dude was serious. No, dude, this guy was over 400, like easy
Wow. Oh, wait, over 400 or what?
pounds.
Oh, so he was also embezzling the food, not the money.
Probably both.
That son of a bitch.
Sketchy motherfucker.
Do you know what? You never see a fat guy who eats a lot of broccoli.
That's probably another Seinfeld you missed. They tried to get Newman to eat it, and he just vile weed.
Healthy bullshit.
Give me some. He eats it. He goes, oh God, yeah, give me some honey mustard quick.
Dip this in something.
No, just so he can do a shot of honey mustard.
Oh, doing shots of it?
Because they made him eat broccoli. Vile weed. Give me a shot of honey mustard quick.
I don't know what it is about Seinfeld, but I
And
never.
Friends. You never got
Well,
into either of those.
Friends stinks. Seinfeld's great.
Seinfeld is great.
Seinfeld could be top. Seinfeld's definitely top 3 live action shows. Simpsons.
Maybe that's what we got to do. A top 5 animation and top 5. I don't know if I can narrow down either list to 5. That's tough.
Oh yeah, we could do 5.
Oh man,
All
I
right.
don't know. I need time to think about that one.
Well, we got like a whole week, Mike. So
Oh.
next episode of Mitch and Mike on
Better
the
remind
mic,
me.
we will. Next episode of Mitch and Mike on the mic, we tackle important issues
Oh man,
like how the swear
that's
apocalypse
a biggie
went
right there.
in top animated shows versus top live action shows.
Oh, I got another question for you that I think you need to think about
Right now or for next episode?
for next episode, but I'm gonna name it right now.
Throw it at me.
Top 5 songs
Ooh.
for Power Hours.
Oh, you asked the right man.
Right? Songs all in general.
Should I give you the top one right now already?
Yes.
I'm not going to spoil that.
I want to know what it. All right. Well, you can tell me afterwards.
I'll tell you afterwards.
Okay. Bye.
Good night, folks.